anyone who lives or is from this part of the world knows how important diaspora is to us. We've got a long, sad, I suppose, history in some ways of immigration, but what it's given us now is this great web of connection out to the world. And so many people and so many organisations are working every day to maintain those connections. But until now and until the survey, we really haven't had a clear idea of, I suppose, the geography of that connection, the shape of it, what people are doing exactly, the variety of it, the challenges people are facing, and I suppose the kind of supports that would enable them to do it better. So this survey is slightly unusual that it's not actually really aimed at the diaspora themselves. It's aimed very much at the people and the organisations and the groups that are doing that connecting. So, for instance, it might be a GA club that is, connecting with former players and members, or indeed just people who feel a sense of connection to the club or the parish. It's that kind of thing, and that's just one of 100 examples I could give you of the kind of thing that goes on. So it's those people, those groups that we really, really want to hear from in Clare, as you say, most importantly, and elsewhere throughout the Western region, to see, what they're at, and so we can get a much clearer picture of what's going on, because we know there's just a massive amount of activity going on.
So essentially it's to help people, even at home here in Clare, to stay connected with people that might be living in New York, for example.
Well, our goal is to get people who are maintaining those connections here in Clare and elsewhere in the Western region to give us more information, I suppose, to help us by filling in the survey, to give us more information so we have a clearer idea of what kind of activity is happening. And I suppose most importantly, as always with these things, well, maybe there are things we could be doing to do more of it. I mean, we hear all the time from people who are doing this kind of diaspora engagement maybe, but they're thinking, I know I could be doing better. How do I reach people? What's the best way of getting people to connect with me, Irish people or people of Irish heritage, wherever they are in the world? And so we'd like to be able to ultimately provide some supports for that, be it training, be it networking opportunities, be it just good practices on what to do and what not to do, because it's changed too. Diaspora connections have really changed. I mean, the more traditional models, perhaps, you'd have had, let's say, your Clare Association in maybe a city in the United States or something, and you'd have your dinner dance once a year and that kind of thing. I mean, that stuff obviously still does go on. But there's definitely new ways of connecting with people, and it's just about, maybe figuring out what works, what doesn't, and what could we all do to learn from one another in this space. Because one of the great things there about diaspora is it's kind of a non-competitive space. If someone in Donegal, with some kind of a project in Donegal is doing great work connecting with their diaspora, there's a lot someone in Clare who had a similar project could learn from it without in any way infringing on each other. Do you know what I mean? Because diaspora is very local. People are really generally connecting back to a town, a parish, a county, not necessarily so much a whole region or indeed the whole country.
And I know
So there's a lot we can learn from one another, from the great things. I mean, we've already heard so many brilliant stories of the kind of things people are doing and the imaginative ways they're connecting with people to everyone's benefit, because this is not just about, it's not, again, the whole idea of, we'll get people to come over and do things for, it's not about that. It's about, I suppose, respecting and spotlighting this great connection that we have, which is mutually beneficial. Obviously to, the diaspora themselves who, there is that yearning to connect and to stay linked in. And then there's the things people are doing here that they want to get those connections to fit in with, I suppose, and to support. So that's kind of what it's all about. Complete the survey, or indeed forward it to people who they think might be interested. So the easiest way to do so, now it's on all our kind of social media pages in the Western Development Commission, but the easiest way and quickest way is to go straight to our website, which is very simple. It's westerndevelopment.ie. And on the very front page there's a link to the survey. So that's the easiest way of going about it. So it would really encourage people, and no story is too small. Some might say, well, I think I might do a little bit of that, but sure, that's not the kind. I said, no story is too small. We want to hear them all, and from the full range, be it a heritage group, a GA club, a community festival, whatever it is, we really, really want to hear your stories, and we really appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk about it on Clare FM.